Alright, Scooby Gang, I'm back and better than ever. I got new headphones, Forza got a new update, and thanks to Jimmy Butler absolutely embarrassing my hometown, I now have a reason to end it all. But you know what really makes my day feel the best in comparison to all the other stuff I just said? It's that my favorite Narnia character, Jack Harlow, has returned with another LP filled with chill pop beats and heavy hitting bars about being sterile that once again makes me question if he really is a CIA experiment meant to infiltrate black communities again. So for starters, to get the elephant out of the room, this album is pretty short, only clocking in at around 24 minutes in time with just 10 short tracks to give us a taste of what Jack was or is trying to do musically. And while looking at this as a whole, it's not exactly album of the year material or whatever, but it's still somewhat enjoyable. Like, it has certain elements tossed in between the alright stuff that makes it pretty listenable, depending on what kind of hip hop fan you are, I guess. And when comparing it to his previous project, Come Home, The Kids Miss You, I feel like this album definitely seems more well worked, mainly in terms of Jack's lyricism, while the production honestly feels all the same to me. But before we can get into the production side of things, of course we have to take a look at the lyrical aspect, content, and overall delivery. And when getting into that subject, I feel like Jack actually did a pretty decent job in comparison to his previous album. I guess it's because this feels at least a little bit more personal, tackling onto more serious topics such as holding close friends accountable for heinous acts and constantly questioning the direction of his career years down the line. And when looking at the former, he definitely goes about it in a pretty interesting way, talking about how one friend sexually assaulted 7 women, or how another old peer just happened to be a pedo, which to the average listener can make them uncomfortable. But I guess if you want to get your message across, sometimes you got to go out of those boundaries. But then there's a track, It Can't Be, which talks about how people are only acknowledging his race and not his effort when it comes to his success. And I guess that would be an issue for someone in Jack's position, being another white guy to take the mantle as the white rapper in the mainstream hip-hop sphere. And while I won't downplay Jack's work ethic because he is a hard worker, at the same time I feel like it's more of the record labels taking advantage of him being the white rapper and using it as the opportunity to push him onto more easily impressionable minorities and hip-hop fans to help sell records and garner quick success.
Nothing here to see, factories overseas.
But as for the production, for the most part, it was pretty alright. As stated before, it's not like it's all too different from what I heard on Come Home, The Kids Miss You, but I guess this time it feels like it has more of a direction, giving us more chill hop, boom bap vibes for people to relax or bop their heads to, which is cool. And when hearing some of these instrumentals, it seems like they don't differentiate themselves too much from one another, kind of sounded more like follow-ups instead of completely separate tracks, such as with Denver and No Enhancers or They Don't Love It and Ambitious. But if I had to look at the high notes layered on the production side, I would say that the mixing was solid. Everything sounded pretty crisp and clear. No muddy, scratchy vocals or anything, which was good, unless it was just the EQ settings in my new headphone that are doing that, then sorry Jack. But aside from that, although some of the beats did feel a bit samey, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were bad, with the acoustic or bass guitar strings playing wonderfully into the background, while the vocal sample loops complement well with the 808s to make some pretty solid and catchy instrumentals that you can clear your mind to. But overall, as stated before, this album wasn't exactly spectacular, but for a surprise drop of only 10 songs at 24 minutes coming from Jack Harlow of all people, I'm honestly impressed that he's able to deliver at the caliber that he did. He has some solid bars, some catchy choruses, and a nice grouping of instrumentals to back him up. So to put this on a scale, I'm giving this a strong 6 out of 10, being something that'll definitely fly under the radar, but someone out there might enjoy it. But how you guys feel about the new Jack Harlow album? What would you rate it? Let me know down in the comments, like and subscribe, and follow my IG and Twitter, and follow Chocolate on Instagram for more illustrations. And on that note, I'll see you guys on Monday when I tell the Eagles to draft Uncle Rico as their new quarterback. Peace.